Hey, Sunrise Valley. It is August 1st, 2026, and this is your August market update for Sunrise Valley. So, the question is, what is going on in Sunrise Valley right now? And the answer is absolutely nothing. We have had no market activity for the month of July. That's not unusual. I've discussed in my other market updates that obviously there's only 93 single family homes in this subdivision. It's a very low turnover rate. There's going to be plenty of months where there is no activity, but there are still a few things I wanted to talk to you about this month. So, as you can see, the only technical active activity is still 3411 Stone Gate, which we've discussed many times before. It is still temporary off market. That means it's not withdrawn, it's not expired. It is technically off the market temporarily. Um, Pretty much it's the talk of the neighborhood. I get asked a lot of questions about this listing. Um, it's not my listing, so I can only give you my opinion, but that is the only thing that's actually going on in Sunrise Valley right now. However, there is a very interesting scenario that played out directly behind Sunrise Valley in July, and I want to review that with you because there were two houses for sale directly next door to each other on Adriana Court, and they got completely different results. So I want to take a quick look at those two properties because even though they're not in Sunrise Valley, that subdivision directly backs up to us and it's extremely relevant for all of the things that I've been talking about. So let's take a quick look here. I have my screen shared with you and I'm going to bring up this first listing. This first listing is 5110 Adriana Court. Okay. So this property has now been on the market for 36 days. They are down to 719. If we take a look at the history down here, you're going to see that they've already done several price reductions. They started at 769, they reduced to 749, then they reduced to 719. They've had many open houses and it is still sitting on the market 36 days later. Now, if you've watched my other videos, you know that 36 days in a prime Center Valley location is a very long time for your house to be sitting. So, if you look at the house, if we just flip through the pictures quickly, it doesn't appear to have anything major wrong with it. There's no red flags that I've seen. Obviously, sometimes when you tour something in person, you pick up on things you might not see in the pictures. But you could see it's original on the inside, but there's no red flags jumping out. Now, I want to compare this to the property directly next door. The property directly next door, right here, was listed at 799. It sold immediately. They had multiple offers, and presumably we don't know what it ended up selling for, but presumably it's going to go over asking because they did have multiple offers. So, what is the difference between this house and that house? Now, they're directly next door to each other. So we know that the location is not the issue. The other house not selling is not a location issue because these are directly next door to each other. Now, this house has a 3D tour. It has the floor plan. Those are all positives. I always recommend doing that on listings in Sunrise Valley. I would definitely do a 3D tour. You definitely want a floor plan. It gives a much better presentation for buyers to go alongside your professional photography. Um, and obviously, there's a lot of other marketing factors that go into play that I would discuss with you. But if you look through the pictures here, clearly this house is more updated than the other house. If we get to, it's all the original hardwood floors and everything. But if we get to like the kitchen and everything, you'll see it's more updated. It has the nice two-story living room, the stone fireplace. Um, you could see here that the kitchen is updated. So it is more updated, definitely, which is a positive. However, it was listed at 799, so it was listed significantly higher than the other house. So those upgrades were sort of obviously they have value. So buyers are going to pay a premium to have a house that's updated. So the question is, well, why isn't this house selling? And the answer is it actually goes back to if you watched some of my other videos, what I like to call the 4 Ps, and it's pricing, positioning, presentation, and preparation. Those are the four things that get your house sold before it ever hits the market. In this particular case, I can't speak to exactly what process they followed because I don't know. But this is just a really good example of two houses next door to each other with a fairly large price difference at this point, and how one attracted immediate attention and got multiple offers and sold in the first weekend, and the other one has been sitting on the market for 36 days and had three price reductions. It does not mean there's anything wrong with the house. It doesn't mean that it's undesirable. None of that. It just goes to show you how positioning and preparation and structuring your listing can completely affect the outcome that your home takes. So, like I said, this is very relevant to Sunrise Valley, considering that it's directly behind us and directly backs up to us. And because of that, I wanted to really show you this example just in case you weren't aware of it. So, obviously, like I said, there is no actual activity going on in um, Sunrise Valley for the month of July. So there's nothing to talk about there. However, check out my website, nickgsellsunrisevalley.com. I have a lot of really good information on there, a lot of articles specific for Sunrise Valley homeowners, and all of my monthly market updates will be posted on there as well. Also, check out my YouTube channel where I post Sunrise Valley specific videos. So I'm creating all these resources for you as Sunrise Valley homeowners because it's important to know what's going on in your community. Um, Regional trends, Lehigh Valley trends, good to know, but what's going on in Center Valley and what's going on specifically in Sunrise Valley is much more pertinent to you as a homeowner. And that's why I want to give you these resources so you can read what's going on in the market in our neighborhood right now. So check that out, nickgsellsunrisevalley.com. And if you ever have any questions on anything relating to the real estate market, even if you're not looking to buy or sell and you just have some questions about different listings you see or anything that's going on, give me a call, text me anytime. I live right here. I'm in the neighborhood. I'd be happy to help answer any of your questions. And I will see you back here next month on September 1st.